My vision then was to be the leading global brand for African packaged foods. And that vision was based on 3 principles: quality, reliability, innovation. Consistent quality in products, reliability in supply, not that it's available today, not available tomorrow. Finally, even if I achieve the first 2 and I become the leading global brand, if I do not innovate or reinvent myself, people coming behind will catch up and leave me behind. I'm engineer Muyiwa Aiyegbusi, but because of my brand name, people popularly call me Olu. I'm in my mid-60s. I finished my secondary school at Aiyegbusi College up to the A level. Went to US to study actually medicine, but somewhere along the line I switched over to engineering. My dad was not too pleased with that, but I enjoy engineering because I like to work with my hands, I like to be creative, I like to do research. I came back into Nigeria after my master's degree in 1983. I was dreaming of working at NNPC then. But what I met on ground discouraged me. So I finally went to go and serve my youth corps at Federal Institute of Research Oshodi, popularly referred to as FIRO. And it was at FIRO that I got converted from petrochemical engineering into food processing engineering. And when I finished serving at FIRO in 1984, my immediate boss encouraged me to take up appointment with them. But being ignorant of the civil service procedure, I went to apply to start at level 14, and they laughed at me. They said, "You do not enter civil service at level 14. That discouraged me, so I just decided to, with my savings from youth corps then, 8,400, I decided to go into business to start producing what I encountered at FIRO, which was bottled palm wine. So with that meager amount, with no help from anybody, I started producing palm wine. And subsequently, ups and downs, business was not so good. I weathered it. Sometimes it was good or not, but the thing caught on, okay? And then I had investors came in who are older than me. And as typical of any or most Nigerian businesses, there was acrimony, there was backbiting, there was gossiping. And when the whole thing was getting dangerous for my life, I sent my wife to London, and I later joined her there. That was in 1987. So I started driving minicab, what you people call kabu here, after my master's degree. And I didn't find it difficult for me to do, because I believe in myself. I believe, and I'm focused. And I'm dedicated to whatever I want to pursue. And it was an irony because a year earlier, the Punch at the Guardian has written an article about me, that this is a future African young industrialist to look out for. But then the year after, I was on the streets of London driving minicab. And what pushed me to that was, I exported my first container of palm wine with a business partner based in London. But because of wrong labeling, the duty that was slammed on the container was almost 5 times the worth of the container. And the guy told me, look, Olu, you can't return back to Nigeria as we planned. You have to find a way to sit down here and sell this thing. Otherwise, we're going to lose money. So my wife bought me my first kabu car, and I started driving. So I would do kabu for 5 a.m. till about 10 a.m. rush hour. Then I would start selling palm wine to the stores, hawking it between that period. And it was during this time, one afternoon, as an Ekiti man, I felt tired of eating hamburger and all this hamburger. So I entered into one grocery store at Finsbury Park in London, wondering whether I could see pounded yam. When I got there, all I saw was ground rice. And I remember that I did a research during my youth corps at Firo. So I called home for the papers to be sent to me, and I dusted through the papers. I was trying to use solar dryer to dry yam chips to make pounded yam there. So I thought, well, maybe I should do pounded yam in London, because they won't allow you to bring mortar and pestle to come and be pounding yam. Noise. So I went to the library during my easy hours and started doing research. And during this time, I was turning my wife's kitchen to a dusty, dirty place. You know, when you're doing research, men don't learn how to take care of kitchen. And each time my wife will come home then and say, why is my kitchen dirty? I will make excuses. But I was trying to perfect this new product. I think after 4 months, I thought I got what I wanted. So I did samples and took it to my minicab office. I was the oldest person among them. The rest were younger than me. I was, I think, about 30 to 31. The others were about 23-year-old boys and girls. So I gave them the sample and said, a friend of mine from Nigeria bought this product. He wants me to be an agent. But I want you guys to go and try it and test it, whether it's good. They said, okay, sir. The next morning when I got to the office, minicab office, everybody was saying, Uncle Olu, I want to be your sub-agent. Uncle Olu, I want to be your sub-agent. I said, is the product that good? He said, wow, this is fantastic. It's unbelievable. I said, okay, I will talk to the guy. I got home that evening. I told my wife the same story. A friend of mine brought this from Nigeria and wants to also be the sub-agent. Can you prepare it and see whether it's good? She took the sample to the kitchen. I was in the sitting room, she was in the kitchen, and she was preparing it. And somewhere along the line, she said, "Dear, please phone your friend now. We are ready to be the agent." I said, "Is it that good?" He said, "No, this is going to make us a millionaire." I started laughing. And he said, "What's funny?" And I said, "You know, all those months you were complaining your kitchen was dirty. This is what I was trying to achieve. It's not a friend that brought it down. It was me." And she said, "Why did you say all this while I was a friend?" I said, "No, I've done so many business, ups and down, ups and down." I said, "The time will come when sometimes crisis of confidence will hit you. You are no longer sure of yourself." And so since I didn't want to make myself a laughing stock, I have to come up with a story. He said, "My dear, no story anymore. This is it." I said, "But there's one problem." He said, "What's the problem?" I said, "I don't want to do my product in an unbranded packaging." He said, "So I need to do a branded packaging." He said, "Go and do it now." I said, "I don't have enough money. You know, I'm doing mini car. You are the one that initially you bought the car for me, a cheap car or 80 pounds. You are the one that give me 5 pounds per week for lunch." That's how broke I was then. And then so I need 1,400 pounds to put this whole thing together. He said, "How much do you have?" I said, "I think I have 880 in my account, which I can release 800 of it." She said she has about 600 and something in her account that she can release 600. So we put those 600 and 800 together in 1988, May 10. And I went to go and pay for the packaging, got the deposit, and produce initial one to just give to the stores. While I was getting ready that if it sells, then I will come and start in Nigeria. And the funny thing was that even when I gave to the stores, I remember one particular store. He's a very good friend of ours now, Park Stroud Green. It's people that live in London would know the person I'm talking about. When I approached him and said, "Look, I have this new product," I could only give him 3 bags. When you say your production, only 3 bags. Say, "I have this product that is going to sell." A lot of Nigerians working with products, all this. Go and dump it over there and come back. I dump it. Do you realize that for 1 week I was afraid to go and check whether he has sold or not? I'm still talking about crisis of confidence. That maybe it will not sell. Maybe we will not like it. But after 1 week, I just got the courage like, whether he is not selling, just go and check now. You won't die there. So I sneaked in. I didn't want him to see me because he stands by the cashier at the entrance. So I sneaked in to the shelf where they put the pounded jam and gari and ground rice, semovita. Those were the popular food then among Nigerians, whether in US or in Europe, ground rice or semo. So I sneaked in. I couldn't find the bag, 3 bags. So I saw the boy that is working there, the one that shelves product. I asked him quietly, please, I'm looking for pounded yam to buy. And he says, yeah, here's another one. That one doesn't look like pounded yam, but the guy wrote with pen, pounded yam. I said, no, there's one that somebody told me. It's like in a green and white something. Oh, he said that one is finished. We're expecting supply. Oh. Now my confidence just jumped up by 1,000 feet. So as I turned around to go and walk to him that my money for pounded yam, he himself saw me at a distance. He said, foolish man, come. I've been looking for you. Go and bring more pounded yam. Go and bring more pounded yam. I said, I should bring more. He said, go. I said, but how about the money for my 3 days? You are stupid. I will pay you for the 3. I will pay you for. I just ran out. That's the beginning of turnaround in my life in terms of business. I went with palm wine and I started making it with pounded yam. And then, of course, we started exporting to US. And I was the only one that was making this pounded yam anywhere then, available in Europe and in US. And it was catching up. It got so big that I couldn't, with my workers alone, we couldn't do it anymore. So I asked my wife to resign at her job because she's an accountant. So at least she can take care of the financial and accounting part of it. And that's how the thing grew gradually, only for me to find out that even some soldiers of, some wives of our Nigerian soldiers were importing it back to Nigeria from London. Those were the days when Nigerian Airways was still running. We find myself in one business or the other, and from there people started saying, sir, if you can do this very well, you can do this. All right, spilled beans, fufu, oh yes, and plantain chips, and sweet potato, and palm oil. So I thank God today that we have operation in 4 continents of the world. We are present in Africa, obviously Nigeria. US, you'll find us. Europe, you'll find us. Whether Ukraine, Russia, Germany, or France. And we have operations also in South America. So that's how far my interest in value addition on agricultural produce has brought me. And I thank God.